1. Success is never a coincidence. It is always the deliberate outcome of thousands of invisible battles fought in the silence of your own mind. If you ignore the necessity of discipline, if you wait for motivation to strike instead of forging consistency through your own willpower, you will look back 30 years from now and wonder where all your dreams went. 2. Do not spend your life fearing failure more than mediocrity. Failure, when embraced, is the tuition you pay for greatness. Mediocrity, when accepted, is the coffin where your true potential is buried alive. Edison did not invent the light bulb by fearing darkness. He built it by becoming obsessed with creating light. 3. Most people do not fail because of a lack of talent. They fail because they abandoned their ambition too soon. They talked themselves out of their future when it demanded their persistence, and they will carry that regret in the silent corners of their heart for decades to come. 4. Every decision you make is a silent vote for the life you will eventually live. Choosing comfort over challenge, choosing distraction over discipline, choosing excuses over execution. Each choice is a seed, and one day you will wake up in a garden thick with the weeds you planted in your own laziness. 5. People underestimate how much power small habits hold. Carnegie built his empire not through grand gestures, but through small, relentless improvements done daily without applause. If you fail to take control of your daily actions, life will quietly hand you the future you feared most. 6. You are either preparing yourself for opportunity or you are preparing yourself for regret. There is no neutral ground. The universe owes you nothing but is willing to reward the relentless. Lincoln lost dozens of elections before becoming president, not because the world finally saw his greatness, but because he refused to see himself as defeated. 7. Stop outsourcing your self-worth to the opinions of small-minded people. Disney was told he had no imagination. Ford was told his ideas were absurd. If they had accepted the judgments of the ignorant, the world would have never changed. Listening to critics is the first step toward living a life they would have chosen for you. 8. When the time comes to stand in front of your own dreams and account for the years you were given, no excuse will save you. Not the economy, not your parents, not your boss, not your trauma. Only the fierce honesty of whether you showed up or whether you shrank away. 9. You are not overwhelmed because you have too much to do. You are overwhelmed because you have not yet learned to prioritize what truly matters. Success requires brutal clarity. It demands you slice through the noise and defend your focus like a soldier defends a battlefield. 10. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It is a self-worth problem. It is you deciding day after day that your future is not worth the discomfort of effort today. Every moment you delay is a brick laid in the wall that will one day block you from the life you could have had. 11. The wrong people in your life will cost you more than money. They will cost you your destiny. Surround yourself with doubters, and you will drown in hesitation. Surround yourself with dreamers, and you will inhale ambition like air. Protect your environment with your life, because your life depends on it. 12. One of the deadliest traps of life is believing that you have more time than you do. Time is a ruthless creditor. It demands payment in full whether you are ready or not. The future will arrive with or without your permission. And if you meet it empty-handed, it will have no mercy. 13. Mastery is boring. It is built not on flashes of inspiration, but on relentless repetition when no one is watching. If you seek entertainment over excellence, if you abandon practice the moment it becomes tedious, you are trading your legacy for a momentary pleasure that will taste bitter later. 14. Do not mistake movement for progress. Many people stay busy to avoid doing the real work. They drown themselves in tasks and errands, hiding from the hard truths that demand courage. Being busy is easy. Being effective is rare. Choose wisely. 15. The world owes you nothing but expects everything. It is not fair, and it never was. Success is given only to those who accept this truth early and use it as fuel rather than an excuse. While others whine about injustice, the disciplined will quietly dominate. 16. If you wait until you feel ready, you will die waiting. Growth is designed to be uncomfortable. You were not born to remain the same. Every great figure in history was terrified before they stepped into greatness. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear dictate your future. 17. Your dreams will not beg you to pursue them. They will wait quietly, watching you chase distractions, watching you waste days, until one morning you wake up and realize they have turned into regrets you can no longer touch. 18. You cannot escape the price of your choices. Choosing to stay silent when you should have spoken. Choosing to quit when you should have endured. Choosing to coast when you should have climbed. Every price unpaid today compounds into an unbearable debt tomorrow. 19. Blaming others for your life is the fastest way to guarantee nothing changes. Responsibility is not a burden, it is a weapon. When you seize it, you rip the power out of the hands of everyone who ever hurt you and place it firmly in your own. 20. Dreams without deadlines are dead dreams. Putting a clock on your ambition forces your hands to move when your mind wants to stall. Time, when weaponized properly, becomes your greatest ally instead of your worst enemy. 21. Your character is built in the days when no one is clapping, when progress feels invisible, when quitting would be easy and applauded. If you abandon your character during these silent seasons, no amount of external validation later will fill the void you created inside. 22. Comparison is the thief of destiny. Measuring your path against someone else's milestones blinds you to the terrain you were uniquely born to conquer. Ford did not become Ford by imitating Rockefeller. You will not become great by copying someone else's script. 23. There is no amount of money that can buy back a wasted decade. No amount of apologies that can erase the years you spent doubting yourself. The tragedy of life is not in failing. It is in refusing to even try, because you feared what could go wrong more than you believed in what could go right. 24. The future is reserved for those willing to be misunderstood. You will be mocked, doubted, dismissed. People laugh at what they do not understand. Let their laughter be the soundtrack to your ascent, not the anchor that holds you down. 25. Waiting for the perfect moment is the biggest lie you will ever tell yourself. Perfect moments are forged, not found. They are created by imperfect people who act while everyone else hesitates. 26. When you decide to give up, remember why you started. Remember the younger version of you that dreamed without limits, that believed the impossible was just a matter of effort. Don't betray that version of yourself just because the road got harder than you expected. 27. You must learn to fall in love with the work itself, not just the rewards. If you only love the spotlight, you will never survive the shadows. Greatness is built far from applause, in the dark rooms of discipline, while the world sleeps and forgets. 28. You cannot heal in the same environment that broke you. If you want to change your life, you must first change your surroundings. New soil is required for new roots. Staying in a toxic environment while praying for growth is the ultimate self-deception. 29. Your mind is a garden. Plant nothing but positivity, and weeds of doubt will still try to creep in. But if you plant bitterness, resentment, or laziness, you guarantee that regret will be your harvest. 30. The only real competition you have is with the version of yourself that refused to evolve. Success is not about being better than others. It is about being better than who you were yesterday, every single day without apology. 31. You must not let failure become your final identity. It is a bruise, not a tattoo. The greats failed more times than the mediocre even tried. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. That is the heartbeat of success, the rhythm of resilience. 32. The most dangerous prison is the one without visible walls. Comfort. Comfort whispers sweet lies, seduces you into accepting a small life, and by the time you realize you're trapped, it has already stolen decades from you. 33. Regret is not a sudden visitor. It is the result of daily neglect. Every time you postpone your dreams, every time you numb your hunger with cheap distractions, regret moves one step closer, waiting to someday drown you in what-ifs and could-have-beens. 34. The longer you wait to start, the more you will have to sprint to catch up later. Success has no sympathy for the latecomers. The world moves fast, and opportunity will not slow down to wait for your self-doubt to heal. 35. You are not tired, you are uninspired. The exhaustion you feel is not from working too hard, but from not working on what ignites your soul. Purpose fuels energy. Without it, every day feels like a marathon run in the wrong direction. 36. If you do not design your future, someone else will design it for you, and you may not like what they have planned. The strongest chains are not made of iron. They are forged from the dreams you allowed others to bury in the name of safety. 37. Forgiveness is not about letting others off the hook. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness that will otherwise anchor you to your past. Growth demands that you leave the weight of old wounds behind. 38. You do not rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your disciplines. Dreaming without building disciplines is like planting seeds in dry, cracked soil. Nothing beautiful can grow without deliberate care. 39. One of the greatest tragedies is watching someone with immense potential waste it because they were more afraid of standing out than they were of fading away. History remembers those who dared to be different, not those who conformed. 40. The most expensive thing you can ever buy is someone else's approval. It costs you your authenticity, your freedom, and your future. Spend your life pursuing your own standard, not chasing validation from people who do not even know where they are going. 41. Every success story is a love letter to perseverance. Behind every breakthrough was a long, lonely road of unseen struggles, doubts, and nights of questioning everything. If you are not willing to walk that road, you are not ready for the destination you claim to desire. 42. Patience is not waiting while doing nothing. It is persisting while believing, building quietly while trusting that the seeds you planted will one day break through the soil. Impatience kills more dreams than failure ever could. 43. Stop asking for easier battles. Pray for a stronger sword. Life will not remove your obstacles. It will harden you until you are capable of overcoming them. Growth is not about less resistance, but about greater resilience. 44. Comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing ever grows there. Staying where it's safe ensures that you'll die where you started, never tasting the bitter victory of having fought your way into a life you once thought was impossible. 45. When you stop learning, you stop leading. In a world changing at lightning speed, arrogance is a death sentence. Stay humble, stay hungry, stay foolish enough to believe there is always more to master. 46. You can't expect loyalty from people who can't even be honest with themselves. Protect your energy from liars, manipulators, and emotional parasites. You become like the people you allow into your orbit. Choose carefully. 47. The future does not punish the lazy, it forgets them. It moves on without apology, giving prizes to those who dared to move, while others sat frozen by fear and indecision. Inaction is the slowest, most silent form of suicide. 48. You will never influence the world by trying to blend in with it. Ford was mocked. Edison was ridiculed. Disney was laughed out of offices. Their secret: they kept building while the world kept doubting. 49. Waiting for external motivation is like standing in the rain hoping to stay dry. You must become your own storm, your own fire, your own relentless source of momentum that no circumstance can extinguish. 50. Your environment will either pull you toward greatness or drag you into mediocrity. Build a life where inspiration is the atmosphere, not the exception. Curate your world like your life depends on it, because it does. 51. The reward for mastering yourself is that you no longer need to be mastered by anyone else. Self-discipline is the final rebellion against a world that profits from your distractions and your addictions. 52. If your dreams do not scare you, they are insulting your potential. The best dreams terrify you because they reveal how far you must grow to become the person capable of living them. 53. You cannot negotiate with your future. It demands sacrifice. It demands choices that most people are too afraid to make. The price of greatness must be paid in full, in advance, without any guarantees of success. 54. Stop complaining that no one believes in you. It was never their job. It is your job to believe so fiercely in your own vision that the doubters either join you out of awe or are left behind in confusion. 55. Obstacles are not roadblocks, they are filters. They separate the committed from the curious. Most people quit when faced with difficulty, and that is why most people live lives they secretly despise. 56. The pain you are avoiding today will be the regret that haunts you tomorrow. Pay the price now, or pay it later with interest. Pain now is tuition, pain later is punishment. 57. Small, consistent actions compound into unimaginable results. The tragedy is that most people cannot stay consistent long enough to see the harvest. They abandon the field just before the seeds break through. 58. You must make peace with imperfection, waiting until you are ready, until the plan is perfect, until the fear is gone, is waiting for a world that does not exist. Act now. Adjust as you go. Build your wings on the way down. 59. If you allow fear to set the boundaries of your life, you will live a life so small it fits inside your anxieties. Break the cages you built in your mind. Step into the terrifying unknown where real life begins. 60. Your dreams are not inconvenient interruptions. They are sacred instructions. Ignore them long enough, and they will decay into resentment, poisoning every other area of your existence. 61. Everyone wants the prize, but few are willing to endure the process. The world honors the finished product, but forgets the long nights, the lonely mornings, the silent battles that sculpted greatness. 62. The people you admire did not have more time, more energy, or more luck. They had more focus. They traded distraction for destiny. Every moment you waste on the trivial is a dagger in the heart of your bigger future. 63. Success is found in the boring, mundane grind that no one claps for. If you cannot fall in love with repetition, you cannot fall in love with achievement. Passion fades, habits remain. 64. Success is rented, never owned, and the rent is due every single day. There is no lifetime lease on greatness. You must show up even when you are tired, uninspired, broken, and invisible. 65. Life does not respect intentions. It rewards execution. The graveyard is filled with well-meaning people who waited for the right time, who intended to start tomorrow, who dreamed but never acted. 66. You are either evolving or decaying. There is no neutral state. If you are not actively growing, actively pursuing, actively sharpening yourself, you are slowly surrendering your future to the forces of decay. 67. The greatest illusion is that you have more time. Every second that passes is a second you will never see again. Treat each day like a blade. Either you wield it to carve out your destiny, or it will bleed away unnoticed. 68. If you are not willing to look foolish for a season, you are not ready to look brilliant in the future. Every master was once a beginner who dared to be seen starting small, awkward, and unsure. Embarrassment is the currency you must sometimes pay for growth. The 69. Dreams without commitment are fantasies, and fantasies without action are delusions. You can lie to the world, But your future will never believe your empty promises. It will only respond to the sweat that soaks the foundation of your effort. 70. Never confuse motion with momentum. Running in circles, chasing approval, perfecting plans that never get executed. All of it feels like work, but it leaves you exhausted and exactly where you started. Real movement is measured by how much closer you get to the life you said you wanted. 71. You must fall in love with delayed gratification. Those who cannot wait will sell their future for pennies just to taste pleasure today. Carnegie built steel empires by thinking in decades. Those who think in minutes are condemned to serve those who think in years. 72. It is not that success is hard, it is that mediocrity is easy. Easy choices today become heavy burdens tomorrow. Hard choices today become light freedoms tomorrow. Every decision is a vote for the life you will inherit. 73. Beware of emotional sabotage. Your mind will often create storms when the ocean is calm. Fear, doubt, anger. These are the thieves that steal your energy if you let them build strongholds inside your thoughts. 74. You are not entitled to success just because you desire it. You are only entitled to the opportunity to earn it. Life bows to those who persist when others have surrendered, not to those who merely wish for better days. 75. You can measure a person's future by the size of the problems they are willing to solve. Small minds seek to avoid all problems. Great minds seek greater challenges. To seek a life without problems is to seek a life without progress. 76. The clock is ticking whether you move or not. Time is indifferent to your excuses, immune to your fears, and deaf to your whining. Every second you waste will not wait politely for you to catch up later. 77. Burnout is not caused by working too hard. It is caused by working on things that do not set your soul on fire. When you are aligned with your true mission, even the hardest days feel like sacred battles, not chores. 78. Nothing extraordinary is built on emotions alone. You must discipline your emotions to serve your purpose, not the other way around. Letting feelings dictate action is like allowing the weather to determine if a bridge should be built. 79. The life you want is locked behind doors guarded by discipline, sacrifice, and relentless patience. If you are unwilling to knock, to wait, and to keep knocking, then prepare yourself for a lifetime of envying those who did. 80. No one will care about your excuses at your funeral. No one will read your eulogy and list all the reasons why you never lived up to your potential. They will only remember what you built or what you squandered. 81. Never become so addicted to being liked that you forget to be respected. Popularity fades, respect endures. Build a life that demands admiration, not cheap applause. 82. Do not seek revenge on those who doubt you. Succeed in such a way that their words crumble into dust at your feet. The loudest statement you will ever make is silent. It is the evidence of a life that proved every critic wrong. 83. Your willpower is like a muscle. If you do not train it, it atrophies. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you push through resistance, you build an unbreakable inner fortress. 84. There is no shame in starting over. There is shame only in quitting. Begin again. Wiser. Begin again. Tougher. Begin again with the fierce knowledge that starting over beats staying defeated. 85. Vision without execution is hallucination. It feels good to imagine the future. It feels powerful to visualize success. But only those who combine dreaming with doing ever taste the sweetness of fulfillment. 86. What you tolerate today becomes your standard tomorrow. If you accept half effort, broken promises, or mediocre dreams, you teach yourself that excellence is optional. Raise your standards, and your life will rise to meet them. 87. Self-respect is built in private victories no one else will ever see. It is in the run you complete when no one is watching. The extra hour of study when the world is sleeping. Respect yourself enough to do the right thing when no one is clapping. 88. You were not born to stay silent. Your dreams were not planted inside you to rot in darkness. Every great legacy was once an unspeakable dream, whispered in secret and fought for against overwhelming odds. 89. If you want to predict your future, examine your daily rituals. Dreams are distant visions, but rituals are the staircase that builds itself beneath your feet as you move forward. Master your days, and the years will bend to your will. 90. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. If you find discipline too heavy today, prepare yourself to carry the unbearable weight of regret tomorrow. 91. Your story will either be an inspiration or a warning. Live today in a way that makes your life a roadmap for others, not a cautionary tale they point to when explaining what went wrong. 92. Gratitude without ambition is complacency. Ambition without gratitude is greed. You must cultivate both the hunger to grow and the humility to be thankful for every battle that shaped you. 93. The first step toward mastery is brutal self-awareness. You must be willing to see yourself without the filters of ego, without the excuses, without the lies. Only those who see the truth can shape it into something greater. 94. Repetition is the mother of skill. One punch practiced 1,000 times beats 1,000 punches practiced once. Excellence is boring. It is the endless refining of what others abandoned when they grew bored. 95. You will never outperform your belief system. If you believe you are average, you will find ways to sabotage excellence. If you believe you are destined for greatness, you will find ways to rise after every fall. 96. The people you surround yourself with are either accelerators or anchors. Choose wisely. Some will fuel your fire. Some will douse it with their fears and insecurities. Protect your inner circle like it is your lifeline, because it is. 97. The world is changed by those who show up every day, not by those who wait for ideal conditions. There will never be a perfect moment. Perfection is the enemy of done. Imperfect action beats perfect hesitation. 98. Silence is a weapon. When you are doubted, when you are ridiculed, when you are overlooked, stay silent. Stay working. Let your results announce you louder than any speech ever could. 99. The easy road becomes hard. the hard road becomes easy. Every shortcut you take now will demand repayment later, with brutal interest. Walk the harder road today so you can stroll through a life others can only dream about. 100. Consistency is the highest form of respect you can show to your own dreams. It is not about massive action once. It is about small, relentless action daily until the universe is forced to take notice. 101. What you think you deserve and what you are willing to earn are two different things. The gap between them is called reality. Bridge that gap with relentless effort, not with entitled wishes. 102. You will outgrow people who refuse to evolve. Do not shrink to fit the version of yourself they remember. Grow unapologetically. Shine so brightly that their memories of who you were are blinded by who you became. 103. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. Every shortcut you take for comfort robs your future self of the life they are depending on you to build today. Choose wisely. You will have to live with the consequences far longer than the moment of weakness. 104. If you are not willing to sacrifice for your dreams will become the sacrifice. Life demands payment in full. Pay with time, effort, focus, and resilience now, or pay with regret, bitterness, and broken potential later. 105. You do not have to be extreme, just consistent. Small disciplines practiced daily beat massive bursts of intensity that flame out quickly. It is not the weight of the world that crushes dreams. It is the daily surrender to small temptations. 106. When the storms come, and they will, the weak build shelters, but the strong build ships. Learn to navigate, not hide. Problems will not vanish because you wish them away. Your survival depends on your ability to adapt, not escape. 107. The enemy of your future is not failure. It is comfort. Comfort seduces, soothes, deceives. It makes you believe that tomorrow will still be there, that ambition can be postponed, that average is acceptable. By the time you realize the trap, years have slipped through your fingers. 108. You will not be judged by your intentions, but by your results. Good intentions paved roads to wasted lives. Only those who act, stumble, fail, and rise again will have a life story worth telling. 109. There is no fast track to greatness. Every overnight success spent years grinding in silence before the world finally noticed. Success is cumulative, 100,000 small, invisible victories stacked upon each other until the weight becomes undeniable. 110. If you are afraid of being misunderstood, you are not ready to lead. Visionaries are always seen as crazy by those who lack the courage to imagine more. History remembers the rebels, the dreamers, the ones who were willing to be different. 111. Most people spend their lives building someone else's dream because they lacked the courage to build their own. The chains are invisible: a steady paycheck, a safe routine, a tolerable misery. Freedom belongs to the brave, not the comfortable. 112. The longer you delay action, the louder your fears become. Fear thrives in the empty spaces where courage should have lived. Starve fear by feeding action. Move fast enough that fear cannot catch you. 113. Wishing for success is easy. Preparing for it is rare. The opportunities you pray for will destroy you if you have not prepared the foundation to hold them. Success magnifies who you already are, for better or worse. 114. You are not defeated when you fail. You are defeated when you quit. Failure is information. Quitting is a verdict. Use every failure as fuel, every stumble as a signal, every heartbreak as a hammer to rebuild a stronger version of yourself. 115. The person who chases two rabbits catches none. Focus is your weapon. Diluted effort is wasted effort. Choose your target, lock on, and pursue it with the kind of singular intensity that makes the world step aside. 116. Your reputation is built by thousands of tiny, unremarkable moments. A missed deadline here, a broken promise there. Excellence is not a single act, but a habit forged when no one is watching and no applause is coming. 117. Success is not about finding yourself. It is about building yourself. You are not a treasure to be discovered. You are a masterpiece to be created, stroke by agonizing stroke, through persistence, discipline, and courage. 118. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Pressure reveals cracks and forges diamonds. Every disaster you survive is a classroom. The question is not, why did this happen, but what am I now strong enough to carry? 119. Every minute you spend complaining is a minute stolen from creating. Complaints change nothing. Action changes everything. Build while others whine. Create while others criticize. Progress while others pity themselves. 120. The greatest battles you will fight will be within. Not against enemies or obstacles, but against your own excuses, your own fears, your own laziness. Conquer yourself, and there is nothing left that can conquer you. 121. Pain is temporary. Regret is forever. When you think about quitting, think about explaining to your future self why you chose the easier path and abandoned the life you could have had. 122. Life will test you constantly to see if you are serious about what you say you want. Every delay, every disappointment, every closed door is asking, do you still want it? Prove your answer with your actions, not your words. 123. The comfort zone is where dreams go to die. It feels safe. It feels familiar. It feels cozy. But in that safety, your ambition withers, your courage decays, and your soul falls asleep. 124. Nobody will believe in your dream until you make it real. Do not wait for validation. Do not seek permission. The world rewards proof, not potential. Show them. Show yourself. 125. Excuses make today easier, but tomorrow harder. Discipline makes today harder, but tomorrow easier. Every day you are building either a burden or a blessing. Stack wisely. 126. You cannot hate yourself into greatness. Self-loathing does not build empires. You must treat yourself as someone you are responsible for helping with discipline, with compassion, and with unwavering belief in the worth of your mission. 127. Average is overcrowded. The top is lonely for a reason. Most people will not do the work, endure the pain, or risk the failure required to rise. If you crave the applause of the crowd, you will remain in the crowd. 128. The longer you protect your weaknesses, the stronger they become. Stop defending your limitations. Expose them. Attack them. Replace them. The life you want is hidden behind the battles you are avoiding. 129. Small disciplines build giant legacy. Every skipped workout, every broken promise, every abandoned dream compounds just like every early morning, every small win, every silent act of persistence. 130. Your greatest danger is not aiming too high and missing. It is aiming too low and hitting. Big dreams break you. They stretch you. They expose you. And they reveal the immortal part of you that refuses to die quietly. 131. Never confuse activity with accomplishment. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Moving fast toward nowhere is just another form of failure. Direction matters more than speed. 132. You are either building your dream or being used as a brick in someone else's. There is no neutral ground. If you do not claim your life, someone else will. 133. Discipline yourself today so the world will not have to discipline you tomorrow. Life will humble you either way. Choose the path where you hold the whip in your own hand. 134. When it feels like life is testing you, it is not cruelty, it is preparation. The heavier the burden now, the stronger your character will become. The world does not need more fragile dreamers. It needs battle-hardened visionaries. 135. No one will remember the nights you stayed up doubting yourself. They will only remember whether you built something or not. Doubt is invisible. Action leaves monuments. 136. If you are not willing to suffer for your vision, you are not worthy of its rewards. The bigger the dream, the bigger the sacrifice. Pain is not the enemy. It is the gatekeeper to everything worth having. 137. Nothing will ruin your future faster than waiting for perfect conditions. They do not exist. Act. Adjust. Adapt. Those who wait die with their music still inside them. 138. There is no such thing as standing still. You are either moving toward your destiny or drifting further away from it. Drift is the silent killer of dreams. 139. You will either learn to lead your emotions or be led by them. Uncontrolled emotion is the leash that keeps champions in cages built by their own fear and rage. 140. Sacrifice is giving up what you want now for what you want most. Every short-term desire you indulge at the expense of your long-term vision is a betrayal of your destiny. 141. The price of success is always paid in advance. You will never be able to negotiate a discount. You will never get a refund for effort not given. Every shortcut is a lie whispered to you by the weaker version of yourself, the version that must be defeated every single day. 142. You do not grow stronger by avoiding adversity. You grow stronger by embracing it, leaning into the struggle, and allowing the fire to burn away every excuse you ever told yourself. Gold is purified by heat, and so are dreams. 143. Your life bends to the disciplines you refuse to negotiate. Every time you compromise on your standards, you carve a little piece off your own potential. You cannot create a masterpiece while constantly cutting corners. 144. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your boss, not the government. Salvation is an inside job. Your dreams are your responsibility, and your life is the evidence of how seriously you take that responsibility. 145. Fear will always whisper in your ear. The difference between the successful and the forgotten is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Feel the fear. Move anyway. Fear is a liar, and it dies in the presence of decisive action. 146. If you need applause to keep moving, you will never build anything worth remembering. The applause comes after the work, not during it. Build in silence. Let your results make the noise the world cannot ignore. 147. Self-pity is a poison. It feels warm for a moment, but it eats you from the inside out. Replace pity with action, complaints with strategies, tears with plans. The world rewards those who act, not those who mourn. 148. Your biggest breakthroughs will often be hidden behind your greatest frustrations. When everything seems like it is falling apart, sometimes it is actually falling into place, preparing you for a level of strength and clarity you could not have reached any other way. 149. You will never outperform your inner dialogue. Speak to yourself like someone you are destined to become, not like someone you are doomed to remain. Your words create the architecture of your future. 150. The temptation to quit will be strongest right before your biggest victory. It is life's final exam testing whether you are worthy of what you claim to want. Most people fail because they stop too soon. Be the one who endures 1 second longer. 151. Mastery demands a kind of madness, an obsession with improvement, a relentless hunger for better. The sane settle for average, the obsessed build legacies. 152. Success is often hidden in the boring things you avoid, the mundane repetition, the tedious details, the endless revisions. Those who win fall in love with the process, while others are still waiting to be entertained. 153. If you want uncommon results, you must adopt uncommon habits. You cannot live like the majority and expect to be part of the exceptional few. Success requires standing apart, not blending in. 154. You do not rise to your level of ambition, you fall to your level of preparation. Dreams alone will not catch you when life punches you in the face. Only preparation will. 155. Resentment is the tax you pay when you refuse to take responsibility for your life. Stop blaming. Start building. The energy you spend hating others could be the energy that launches your next chapter. 156. You owe it to the younger version of yourself the kid who dreamed without limits to not give up. You owe it to the future version of yourself, the elder who will sit with your story, to make that story worth telling. 157. Excuses are nothing but carefully crafted lies you tell yourself to avoid the truth that action is possible. Excuses may shield your ego for a moment, but they steal your soul for a lifetime. 158. Every time you make a commitment and break it, you teach yourself that your own word is worthless. Integrity starts with the promises you keep to yourself, not the ones you perform for others. 159. When you stop growing, you start dying. The human spirit is not designed for stagnation. Push the boundary, break the old limits, invent new ones. Evolution is the only path to anything that matters. 160. The more you value your comfort, the more you gamble your future. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. Choose now, because by the time you realize the stakes, the game will already be lost. 161. If you are unwilling to be laughed at, you are not ready to lead. Every revolutionary idea was first mocked, then attacked, and only finally accepted after it became undeniable. 162. Sacrifice is not a loss. It is an investment. Every party you skip, every dollar you save, every hour you spend building rather than consuming all of it is equity you are planting in the soil of your future. 163. Vision without grit is a hallucination. The dreamers who make it are not the ones with the prettiest dreams, but the ones willing to bleed for them, willing to endure seasons of doubt that would destroy lesser souls. 164. You must choose your hard. Building a business is hard. Staying broke is hard. Being fit is hard. Being unhealthy is hard. Choose the hard that builds the life you want, not the hard that leaves you shackled to regret. 165. Success is not found in massive, dramatic actions. It is found in the quiet moments of invisible courage, waking up early when no one notices, pushing one more rep when no one cares, writing one more page when no one reads. 166. When you give yourself fully to a purpose, the obstacles do not disappear, but they lose their power to stop you. A man on fire does not fear the rain. He moves through it, drenched but unstoppable. 167. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the story you keep telling yourself about why you can't have it. Change the story. Change the life. 168. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It is a redirection toward where you are meant to go. Do not let temporary disappointment build permanent walls around your potential. 169. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by how you respond. Victims react. Leaders respond. Champions rise from the ashes of circumstance and build empires from the ruins. 170. The hunger you feed is the future you create. Feed fear, and you build a future of paralysis. Feed courage, and you forge a future of conquest. Choose your meals carefully. 171. Small hinges swing big doors. Never underestimate the power of one small decision, one brave step, one extra hour. Compound interest does not just apply to money, it applies to discipline, character, and courage. 172. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Self-care is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. Rest with purpose, refuel with discipline, then return to the battlefield sharper than before. 173. Every adversity contains the seed of an equal or greater opportunity, but it is hidden and it must be earned. The lazy see adversity as punishment. The hungry see it as the beginning of the next chapter. 174. If you spend your life waiting for permission, you will never move. The doors you want to walk through were built for people who kicked them open, not for those who politely knocked and waited. 175. The only way to predict your future is to create it. Stop hoping. Stop wishing. Stop fantasizing. Build it. Brick by brick. Blow by blow. Battle by battle. Until the life you envisioned exists because you refused to settle for less. 176. If you do not prioritize your life, someone else will. The world is filled with agendas ready to consume your time, your energy, your dreams. Guard your priorities with ferocity, because every minute surrendered is a minute stolen from your future self. 177. You cannot control the storm, but you can control your sails. Stop wishing for calmer waters. Strengthen your grip. Sharpen your instincts. The storm is not your enemy. It is the crucible that will reveal who you really are. 178. Every regret begins as a small compromise. One missed day, one abandoned goal, one excuse disguised as logic. Success is death by 1,000 cuts avoided. Failure is death by 1,000 cuts accepted. 179. You will never regret being too prepared. You will only regret being too lazy. Over-preparation turns doubt into a weapon. Under-preparation turns doubt into a coffin. 180. Your environment whispers constantly to your subconscious. If you are not deliberate about surrounding yourself with greatness, you are unconsciously consenting to mediocrity. Build a life so inspiring that it becomes impossible to settle. 181. It is better to be exhausted from effort than to be hollow from regret. Pain fades. Fatigue fades. But the haunting feeling of "what if I had tried harder" will echo for a lifetime if you let it. 182. Weak goals birth weak results. Vague ambitions create vague lives. Set goals so clear that every action is a march toward them, every choice a battlefield where your destiny is decided. 183. You cannot lead others until you learn to lead yourself. Self-leadership is the first battlefield. It is the battle between impulse and intention, weakness and willpower, doubt and decision. 184. Stop fearing being different. Start fearing being forgotten. The world remembers the bold, the strange, the relentless. It forgets the polite dreamers who waited their whole lives for permission. 185. Hard work is the great equalizer. Talent gives you a head start. Hard work carries you to the finish line. Those who bank only on talent burn out. Those who master discipline endure. 186. Waiting for the right opportunity is an illusion. Opportunities are not found. They are created by relentless people who refuse to wait for doors and instead build bridges. 187. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Comfort zones are graveyards. Innovation lives on the edge of discomfort. 188. Regret will always punish more severely than failure ever could. Failure teaches. Regret taunts. Failure bruises. Regret brands. Choose your pain wisely. 189. You are not tired. You are uninspired because you are living beneath your calling. Energy is not just physical, it is spiritual. When you align with purpose, you tap into reservoirs of strength you forgot you had. 190. Your failures will either become tombstones or stepping stones. Tombstones if you bury your dreams alongside them. Stepping stones if you use them to climb toward higher ground. 191. The world owes you nothing for your potential. It only rewards performance. Hidden greatness benefits no one. Show your work. Deliver your gift. Earn your legacy. 192. Stop asking, what if it doesn't work? Start asking, what if it does? Shift your obsession from fear to faith, from disaster to destiny, and watch the doors you never saw before swing wide open. 193. Be stubborn about your goals, but flexible about your methods. Rigidity breaks under pressure. Adaptability bends without breaking and endures the storms that destroy lesser dreams. 194. You will never dominate an industry, a sport, a craft, or your own mind by dabbling. Mastery demands full immersion. Obsession is not optional. It is the entry fee for greatness. 195. The cost of excellence is high. The cost of regret is higher. When you are tempted to quit because it's hard, remember paying the price now is cheaper than paying with decades of broken dreams. 196. Every successful person you admire was once a beginner who sucked at what they now dominate. The difference is not talent. It is the refusal to quit while others surrendered. 197. Focus is the most valuable currency in a distracted world. Guard it with your life. Every notification you indulge, every worthless argument you enter, every minute spent mindlessly scrolling robs you of your throne. 198. You either run the day or the day runs you. Letting circumstances dictate your schedule is surrendering your power before the battle even begins. Command your time and you command your life. 199. Do not measure your progress with someone else's ruler. Your path is sacred. Your speed is yours. The only comparison that matters is who you were yesterday against who you are today. 200. Success does not come to the most deserving. It comes to the most prepared. The world is ruthless and rewards only those who show up ready, not those who sit at home dreaming of their chance.